To Ron DeSantis of Florida, there's a vote on. There's 2 minutes remaining.
Secretary Moniz, with respect to the agreement between Iran and the IAEA for Parchin and the possible military dimensions, have you read those documents or agreements?
No, sir, I have not seen them.
Okay, and you, to your knowledge, nobody in the U.S. government has a copy of the agreements?
To my knowledge, we do not have a copy. Again, in Vienna, we had very broad oral, I had at least a broad oral briefing, but I never saw any paper.
So you were briefed in Vienna before the JCPOA was announced?
Yes. Shortly before, yes.
Who briefed you?
DG Amano.
Okay. And do you have any plans to request that those documents be provided to Congress, consistent with the Iran Nuclear Review Act?
I don't know if it is consistent, so I'll check with our folks and make a determination. I don't think we judge that it is consistent, but we'll, as we've said, we will certainly brief the contents.
Well, if you don't,
if
you could provide us the rationale for why you don't think the definition of agreement would encompass.
Well, I said I don't know. Congressman, I just said I don't know.
No, I know, but I'm saying if you'd make that determination, if you could provide us the kind of the legal justification so that we can look at it.
Well, of course we'd have to. Of course we'd do that.
Okay, sure. Very good. There was a report in the Associated Press today that the agreement between Iran and the IAEA may not be completed. There was something about maybe Iran would be the one to take the soil samples. Can you guys comment? Is it in fact still being negotiated between Iran and the IAEA?
In session here, we can't discuss what the methodology is. We're happy to take this on in classified session.
Can you confirm the AP story? Have you seen it?
Absolutely not. I can't.
You cannot, because of the session?
I cannot confirm it.
Okay.
I've seen it, among other things.
Secretary Moniz, we get into, obviously it's a very complex agreement. We get into a lot of different things, obviously very important, and I know you guys worked hard on it, but sometimes I just like to take a step back. And just a few years ago, it had been pretty much the general policy of the United States that an agreement would be simply Iran gives up its nuclear program, no enrichment. The UN had always said no enrichment. The president, when he was debating Governor Romney in 2012, said the deal we'll accept is that they end their nuclear program. It's very straightforward. Secretary Moniz, do you acknowledge that this agreement, I know you guys think it's good, and let's put that aside, but do you acknowledge that this agreement doesn't meet that standard of where they're ending their nuclear program, that they are allowed to maintain a significant nuclear program? The international community is going to be helping them develop nuclear technology. I know you guys are going to say that you're confident you'll be able to detect if that's used in a military capacity, but that does represent a change, does it not, from where we were just a few years ago?
Congressman, I've had conversations with members of the prior administration, and I'm not going to, it's inappropriate for me to tell you who or speak for them. But I think if you talk to them, you will learn that they had come to a conclusion by the end of that administration that that policy wasn't working and that they were going to need to, in fact, have some structure of enrichment and some structure of a program. There's a distinction here between Iran's nuclear weapons capacity and a peaceful nuclear program. Unlike North Korea, which pulled out of the NPT, Iran is still a signatory to the NPT. Iran has not exploded an ordnance. Iran has not yet, gone forward to make a weapon, even though they had enough material for 10 to 12 bombs. So Iran is stating in this agreement its willingness to comply with and live within the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Under the Non-Proliferation Treaty, countries have a right to a peaceful nuclear program.
So just so I get clear with the question, you're acknowledging that there has been a reappraisal in kind of the goalposts, and it's one that's been shared by both people in the Bush administration and the Obama administration.
I don't think they shared it publicly, but they shared it with us privately, and it's a part of it.
May I just add that the construct going in then, and this was among the P5+1, that our basic construct would be to get the 1-year breakout time to fissile material.
I'm almost at time. So real quickly, because this is not going to be ratified as a treaty, there are a lot of states, in Florida particularly, where state legislatures have enacted sanctions against Iran in various capacities. Do you acknowledge that this deal will not affect states' ability to do it since it's not going to be approved as a treaty, it's not going to be considered the supreme law of the land. It'll be more of an executive to an executive agreement?
That's accurate, but we would urge those states, if Iran is fully complying with this agreement, we will take steps to urge them not to interfere with that.
Mr. Ted Yoho,